Good morning, it's Joyce here from Sharing God's Love. If you enjoy my videos, why not hit the subscribe button? Then you can be notified every time one of my videos becomes available. Well, today I want to speak on a passage in John chapter 7. And the people are all talking about Jesus because Jesus has just been speaking to them, telling them that out of their hearts can flow rivers of living water. So there's a division among the people, and it says in verse 40, when they heard these words, some of the people said, "This really is the prophet." Others said, "This is the Christ." But some said, "Is the Christ to come from Galilee? Has not the scripture said that the Christ comes from the offspring of David and comes from Bethlehem, the village where David was?" So there was a division among the people over him. Some of them wanted to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him. So none of them can agree on who they think that Jesus is. Some thought that he was the Christ, and they had the right opinion. The others were all arguing about it. Do you know something? They hadn't done the homework. If they had read the scriptures properly and if they had worked things out, they would know that Jesus was from the line of David, because he could trace his ancestors back to King David. And he was from Bethlehem. So they obviously hadn't done the homework to find these things out. They just formed their own opinions of who he was, instead of seeking God's idea of who Jesus was and who Jesus is, because he is the Christ, he is the Son of God. He came to reveal God's love for us. He came to be God in the flesh. And he fulfilled every single prophecy in the Old Testament about the Messiah, about the Son of God, about the Christ. He was and is the Christ. There can be no doubt upon that. Many scholars who would have been doubtful have done lots of research and tried to disprove things like the resurrection, but they've ended up proving the opposite. There's many books you can read about this, such as Who Rolled the Stone Away? And you'll find for yourself, if you doubt who Jesus is, if you read these books, you will find out for yourself, Jesus is the Christ. He was sent by God. He was sent on a specific mission to die on the cross for us because we were separated from God. And he bridged that gap between us and God. But did you know something? It's not anyone's sin that's going to keep them out of heaven. It's just about who they say Jesus is. If they don't say that Jesus is the Messiah, that Jesus is the Son of God, I'm afraid they won't be going to a very nice place. So I'd encourage you today, do your own homework about these things. You can read in the Bible, you can find out that Jesus was from the lineage of David, and he was from Bethlehem because the Bible tells us so. So he did fulfill all the prophecies in the Old Testament. And the most important one, in my opinion, the prophecy in Isaiah about the suffering servant and what he would suffer on the cross for us. And he suffered such a horrific death for us. He suffered torture before he was put on the cross, and he suffered terrific agony when he was put on the cross because he was separated from his Father. He'd never been separated from his Father before. And I just encourage you, if you don't already know Jesus, it's so easy to get to know Jesus. Who do you say Jesus is? Thank you for listening.